All right, so what happened in the month of April in Edmonton's real estate market? Is it still booming? Is it busting? Are prices dropping? Is it gonna crash? Stay tuned to this video and we'll talk all about that. All right, so in the month of April, we came off a very busy February and March, and I was kind of wondering if we'd be able to sustain the pace in which we are. If you remember in March, we pretty much had the same amount of sold as we did active new listings. Now in April, we actually did start to see a little bit of inventory actually staying on the market for a little bit longer. And so you'll see that reflected in the numbers. So the number of sales that we saw in the month of April was 1,140 versus the 2,169 active listings. So you can see that we're no longer matching par for par. Now they're still pretty close. Month over month, we had more listings compared to the previous month. However, last year, we have still less listings than last year, so the market's still busy. When it comes to active sold, we had the numbers go down. So the number of sales that happened in the month of April was less in March and less than last year. So the market's definitely shifting and we are seeing that. And in the beginning days of May, we are also seeing this shift. Now, April, May is typically the busiest time of year, but like I said, we had such a busy start to the year that I kind of suspected this was going to happen. So does this mean the market is crashing and oh no, it's not a good time to sell anymore? Absolutely not. It's still a really good time to sell. We still need to price homes properly. You need to set your expectations to making sure that we do everything. I've been saying this from the beginning, even when properties move quickly, to still don't leave money on the table and do things correctly. So I'm still saying it again, take that time. We have a stager to come in. Take that time to get through that list she's giving you. Take that time to get your house ready before we actually put it on the market. However, don't take too much time. I'm saying try to get your house on the market before the end of May to really maximize the spring market that Edmonton has. So if you look at April's average days on market, we are just at 23, which is still the lowest average days on market in the last 12 months. So it's still, things are moving quickly. If things are priced properly, buyers still are needing to deal with multiple offers. If you can sneak in quickly, you could probably get in. We are seeing offers being accepted with conditions now. As sellers, you're not seeing as much options as you were before. Before you had 5 offers, 10 offers, now maybe you're getting 2 or 3. Now there's a big disclaimer because depending on how it's priced in the area, we still are seeing some really big bustling activity in the market. And so this is just in general. Again, you need to be consulting a professional to know what the market is currently like in your market. It's still really important to look at what is happening in your specific area and what is happening for your specific house. So of course, the most popular price point hasn't changed. From $300,000 to $500,000 is the biggest amount of activity, and we're not seeing too much of a shift in the market quite yet with that. However, we are seeing a shift in the market of over $600,000 and up. Because that's like the less amount of buyers anyways in terms of sales, you're starting to see for listings, it'd be a little bit quieter. Again, if it's priced properly, it's still gonna move, but you have to be a little bit more patient and not be too anxious if things aren't happened in one day. That being said, if you do get something in one day, you want to make sure you take a serious consideration as to what the activity is like on your property and figure out what is the best next steps. So are we still in a buyer's market or a seller's market? We definitely are still very much in a seller's market. If you take a look at the listing absorption rate, we're still at 52.56%, and we are starting to move more towards a balanced market, but the market definitely doesn't feel very balanced still quite yet, especially if you're a buyer. You definitely feel very overwhelmed because you might have found a house you love and then you can't win it if you didn't put your all into it. So again, if you have a professional that kind of lines you up for success, we've been able to see success for our buyers competing in multiple offers because we have all our ducks in a row. And it's so important that you not only are pre-approved with the mortgage, but your mortgage broker is working closely with you and your realtor to make sure that we are setting you up for success, having a team lined up. And the good thing is that you can have a home inspection. For sellers, it's still a good time. It's still good for your clients, or your buyers, to know what they're getting into. You shouldn't be scared of conditions, but of course, when we get offers with no conditions, that's a lot easier for us as sellers to deal with because it's just a lot simpler to put the sold sign on and not have to worry about any other conditions. So if you take a look at the average price, we have still gone up month over month and year over year. The average price for single family homes in Edmonton is now just over $520,000, which is insane. If you look at last year's average price at this time, we are looking at just over $476,000 when it was last year. So the jump in average price changed a lot in 1 year, and we don't typically see that kind of increase in our market. Typically, you see very minuscule 1 to 3% changes year over year. And of course, this year has been one of the highest markets to move the needle up. So if you're still thinking about selling your home, it is not too late. If you have a rental property and your tenants still haven't been given notice, you are not too late to sell your home, but you have to understand, you have to maybe give them 3 months unless they agree to move out sooner. So if you are putting your house on the market in 3 months from now, we got to get lined up to still price properly. We still are able to move houses quickly on our team. We have everything lined up to still move your house fast and for the most amount of money. We just have to adjust our expectations. The pricing today will not be the pricing in 3 months from now. So what does that mean for your property? Just make sure to comment down below and we'll be happy to talk to you. If you're looking at selling your own personal home to upgrade, it definitely is still a great time to do that. Because of the shift in the market, you can get your next home for maybe less stress now than you were a couple months ago, and we can figure out that game plan with you. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll talk to you next month.